Hi there and welcome to Modern Firm Practices show. For this week, we're looking at meetings and how to run better meetings with clients. I'm Brad Turville. The reason this topic has floated to the top this week is I've been talking to a lot of accountants specifically about meeting and talking to their clients at year-end tax time when they're presenting the year-end annual accounts and tax returns to their clients. This is going to apply to you wherever you are in the world. So in Australia, it's the middle of July, and so we're just starting to ramp up here, end of year tax work. If you're in New Zealand, the UK, the US, this is still going to apply to you, but you can just either forward or backdate it based on your tax year. So right now, the US, we're about halfway through the year. New Zealand, what are we? We're just over a third of the way through the year. So it's still going to be applicable to everyone. The great thing with year-end tax time is that you have the opportunity, and there's also an expectation there that you'll at least be in some way chatting with the client. Now, at a minimum, I would say with your business clients, you should be having an annual accounts meeting. And a little bit of a bonus tip there is to start to get other people on the team. The reason I'm doing this action is because I want other people down from the partners and the leaders down through the directors, the client managers, the seniors, the intermediates, to start having these types of meetings with your clients. One, because it frees up time at the top, and two, it starts to get the team doing more client facing and running better meetings. I also don't think a lot of time goes into, hey, how should we run this meeting, and can there be a consistent approach to run this meeting? And a better question is there a better way that we should be running this meeting? So year-end tax time gives you the opportunity to meet with the client, and the client is interested in meeting with you because we're coming together to do a tax lodgement program and prepare your financials. But it gives you the opportunity then to have a discussion, especially around a range of other things. So a couple of considerations for you would be in that meeting, simply asking every client for feedback. Saying, hey, we've been working together for 12 months. We've been working together for 5 years, 10 years. We probably haven't really asked you for feedback every single year, but it's something we would like to start doing, and why not start right now? So, could you tell us how much do you enjoy working with us? What are 3 things you like about working with us? And, are there any areas you think we could improve? Anything that we're doing drastically bad that maybe we don't know about? Anything that you would like to see a little bit tightened up? You're basically asking all of your clients you're doing a feedback survey, but instead of blasting out an email, which, let's be honest, very few people answer, and if they do, it's not quality, you're able to do it face to face, and you're able to write down and capture what the clients are saying to you then and there. And you want to hear the good things and the bad things. And the good things are really going to give you an indication of not what you think you're doing good, but what the clients are actually saying that you're doing good. And the not so good things give you an opportunity to reflect on maybe where you need to give a little bit more attention to in your business. Keep in mind though, just because one person says one thing that, maybe offends you a little bit, or they just say they would like one thing improved, but no one else does, just be conscious of how many people are saying the same thing. So an example there would be, what if there's a common theme that everyone is saying, hey, we would like to see this. And they might say it as a bad thing. They might be saying, hey, we would love it. Here's things we love about you, but this one thing, if you could do this, that would make it awesome. And if you're hearing that constantly, that's obviously something that the masses are asking for. And so now I would say the onus is on you to look to what can we do to bring that into play, or to improve it, or whatever the problem might be. But you're going to be able to gather a lot of data, and I then want you to put that to use. Some of the feedback you'll be able to use as testimonials. Some of it will help refine your value proposition. You might think, well, the reason why people come to us is this, and this. But in fact, there's an additional thing that we probably didn't completely recognize, but that maybe 50 clients have just said the same thing, that this is what they love about us. It could be how good your customer service is, and you've been looking at, we've been in business for this long, and all these sort of things. But maybe, we should really be emphasizing, this is why, and this is what our clients are saying to us that they love working with. So asking for feedback. I know it's a bit scary because you're going to hear some bad stuff. I would rather hear the bad stuff than just have clients upset or leave or so on and so forth. So please ask for feedback. The other one is around pricing. So most firms generally underprice, or they're at the lower end. Rarely am I going to see a firm where everything is at the top end, no scope stretch. Okay, yes, they're out there, but the majority are at the other end of the spectrum. So if you know for a client that you mucked up their pricing last year, you had massive scope stretch where they either asked you to do more work and you just didn't, and you didn't charge, or you were doing a job and you found there needed to be more work done and you have just gone and done it again without rescoping the job. Either way, you want to communicate that to the client and just say to them, hey, here's what happened. Here's the repercussions. We wore it internally, okay? But going forward this year, this is what it looks like. Or if that comes up again, here's how we're going to approach it. We're going to stop. We're going to call you. We're going to discuss. We're going to tell you what needs to be done. Here's the price. And then you'll agree on a new scope of work or an additional work order, sign off on it, and then we can continue and get it done. The goal there being we want you to get the best outcome. But if you don't communicate these things to clients, they're not going to know. So the key there is just having the meeting and just being open and honest with them and say, hey, I know you thought this might just have been included, but it's not. It was actually, in addition, and we usually sell that as a separate service for, let's hypothetically say $500. So look, we're happy for you to cop that last year, and that's a great win for you. But going forward, it's just about that continuous education. And that is where there is a big confusion with an accountant and client. It's usually due to some type of drop in communication. You haven't communicated something, or the expectations, clients might be up here, yours might be down here based on the price that they've paid. The way around that is just have a conversation and get on the same page. I understand that's sometimes a little bit scary, but it solves a lot of the problems, like the late night calls from the email from the client, lots of emails, aggressive emails, not paying their bill, arguing with the bill. Let's just jump on the front foot, because I know you don't love doing. No one loves doing that stuff. Another idea learnt this from a mate of mine, Mark Jenkins, is around a thing called a value register. So throughout the year, you already know you do a truckload of things for the client. And some of them little, some of them big, some of them have an intangible benefit, some of them have a tangible profit, cash, tax improvement or saving component to it. But clients can sometimes forget all those things that you've done. And then especially when you're discussing fees, there can be pushback on the price. And it's sometimes nice to remind them of let's just have a look back over what we've done this year. And a large majority of the time, the clients are going to be reminded of, oh, hang on, you did do that tax job and did tax planning. And you saved me, it could just be 10 grand in tax savings. Or you helped me with that international transaction, or there was a buy, or there was a sell, or there was a merge, or you put a cash flow management program in place, and by improving their inventory turnover, driving down their receivable days, it might have added another $30,000 in free cash flow to the business. The list goes on, but if you can just reflect back and say, hey, here's all the things we've done together, and here's the value that has contributed to you, that value might be, 50 grand, it could be 100. And let alone all the intangible things. So just let's reflect on what you got last year compared to the fees that you're paying us. That sometimes gives a client a new perspective to go, well, hang on, it's not just X amount to do a year-end tax project. There's actually been all these other things, and you know what? When I look at all of that, and actually you have helped me out a lot. So it's a nice little segue just so the client can stop and reflect, because a lot of accountants get stuck when they position a price and the client pushes back and they say no. their default position is then to discount. I would rather remind the client that, hey, one, we love working with you. Two, here's all the things and the goals that we kicked last year, and we want to help you kick just as many, if not even more goals this year. So it's called the value register. In that particular meeting, especially if you're to do it in that meeting or have a separate goal setting meeting, what I want you to ask the client, even if you've never done it before, even greater opportunity to start doing it now, and say, hey, and if you haven't asked them before, say, hey, I've probably never asked you this before, but I thought, the great time to start now. We've just seen your business for the past year. It's been at $500,000 turnover for the past 5 years. Same cash problem, same profit. Are there some things that you would like to look a little bit different in the business? So if we were to meet in 12 months' time from now, what are some of the things in the business that you would like to see, improved? See what the client has to say. And, they're also a person, and you probably also do their personal work. And you could say, well, what are some of the personal things that you would like? It could be around holidays with the family. It could be taking more leave. It could be financial. It could be buying a new house. It could be buying a sports car. It doesn't matter what it is. It's personal to them. And just, basically documenting those things. And you want to then come from a position of, if you think you can help them achieve those things and they're not crystal clear on how they're going about go about doing it, or just from your expert insights that they're going to hit some hurdles. So say cash flow is going to be the problem for it. They've always had a cash problem. Even though they're growing, cash is getting tighter. They want to hit these goals, and cash is just going like this for a number of reasons. That gives you the opportunity. You don't have to sell, okay? I talk about the concept of stop selling, start helping. If they want to do this, but they're stuck here, and you've got an assumption that it's not going to improve and it's going to steer them away from the goals, it gives you an opportunity to start helping. Okay, point out to them, hey, here's what we're seeing through the trends in your business. Does cash flow feel tight? And they go, yeah, like it's even tighter again this year. It could be the opportunity then to say, hey, would you like to see how we could help you with that? And that's when you can start discussing things around doing a forecast to look at what the future cash flows look like in the business. Then doing a review, what I used to call a bottleneck and wastage audit. Where are the bottlenecks for cash and where is the wastage for cash? There's generally quick wins going to be there. And then how can we put an improvement plan in place? And it might be as simple as accounts receivable, terms of trade, multiple payment methods, different structurings of when you get paid, from arrears to upfront, and so on. And you can apply your expertise there to really drive down those receivable days. I mean, it could even be other things like, sending old debts off to get collected. It could be about getting your WIP billed out sooner. It could be just having reminders set up in your accounting software to go out automatically. They'll generally have quick wins. It could be as simple as running an age receivables report and calling the oldest ones. Geez, I remember back in practice when I had new clients do that. And the invoices were ancient, and a lot of the times, a few of them the client would come back and say, you know what, I called these really old ones, and they thought they paid, and we just never sent them a reminder, and they forgot, and they've just paid on the spot, and I've got cash in my bank account. So I know that's simple for an accountant, but clients are not financial management experts. Your clients are not financial management experts. They're not accountants. They're plumbers. They're architects. They're engineers. They're good at their thing. So this gives you an opportunity to stop selling and start helping. But how did we get to that point? We had a conversation around what would you like to achieve? What are some of the problems that you've got at the moment? And based on what they're saying, you can suggest some help. So it's really looking at that year ahead. And asking them one more question you could throw in there is, what are your burning issues at the moment? Just that one question. That's probably my favorite question. That's why I left it till last. What are your burning issues? The client will then speak for about 15 or 20 minutes, right? Just asking that question because they go, oh, well, and then it's all just going to come out this and this and this. And you can just sit there and make notes and see patterns. And hey, they might need some help with clarity. They might want to have a sounding board. It might be cash flow. It might just be clarity and basic planning. Look, it could be about marketing or it could be from HR, something that you can't help with, but you probably know the consultant or the expert to refer to them. So it might be something that you directly help with, but indirectly you are. They're articulating an issue. You can say, hey, this person will eat that problem for breakfast. Like just go and talk to them. Stop selling, start helping. It all starts with the meeting and just chatting to the client, and they're going to be thankful for it, without a doubt. And it's okay if you've never done it before. I think there's an old proverb. I'm not going to try quote it because I'm not 100% sure, but I like the saying anyway, which basically says the best time to do it was yesterday, the second time, or the best time to do it was a year ago, the second best time to do it is today. So, hey, in Australia especially, it is tax time. You're going to be having these meetings. Start helping your clients just by talking to them about what's going on at the moment, where would you like to be, what's holding you back, how can we help you even more, what do you like about working with us, where are some areas you think we can improve. Just those questions there. If you just take that last 30 seconds of what I said and just apply that, and anyone in the firm can ask. It doesn't have to just be partners. Have reception, have anyone ask it. Why? Because you're coming from a position of how can we run a better business, which if you're watching this show, The Modern Firm Practices, that's what you're interested in. But really, accountants just want to get the best for their clients. Okay? And to do that, we need to help. And how do we help? We have to have a chat and a meeting and a discussion with them. So I hope you picked a few points out today. Even if it was just one point, please go and implement that. Until next week, this is Modern Firm Practice Show, and I am Brad Turville.